I think I'm gonna go to my favorite restaurant and get me a meatloaf meal. I'm still not doing my side work. I went through like $4,000. I'm just blowing through money like crazy. But I'm not in the scarcity mindset anymore. I'm getting ready to start back, getting my stuff going here. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about something important, and it was in my mind and it went away. What was it? What was it? I might have to put this on pause to remember what it was. Hold on one second. But it was good. Whatever it was good. Okay, I remember now. So I had a new hobby. I like to decode everything. So in the last few months, I said, let me decode these tarot readers, because a tarot showed up on my screen. I listened to it, and I thought, well, that sounds like what I'm going through. And so I asked AI, I said, what does that mean? It sounds like to me, it just looks like it's a common human, what I'm seeing with all the tarot, it looks like it's just a common human, it's just a repeat of the same stuff. And confirmation bias, AI said, well, it's just confirmation bias. I said, yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. But there's no new story. There's no new human condition. So I went through, I watched the tarots while I was remodeling. I played it. I listened to it for about 2 months, whenever I had time, because I was trying to decode what is tarot. Now, some of it is a demonic spirit and the Queen of Heaven, and some of these women are witches and they're listening to a demonic spirit. We know that's a fact. But some of them, they're just telling a story that comes to their mind. And I could actually do it right now, just come up with some story. I could say, your person that you're thinking about, in their heart right now, they're regretting what they said to you, and they feel bad about it, and they really want to contact you, but they're embarrassed and they're ashamed, and they don't even know if you would accept them anymore. And so I could go on, like, I could just tell a story, and that story would resonate with somebody out there, because when you write a book, just like it's like you write a book and somebody turns it into a movie, and somebody writes a story in a book. And then you go watch that movie, and then you start to cry. Let's say it was a love story or a tragedy or something, and you cry because it was a hero or some kind of story that made you cry, Now, how's that possible? Because the only reason you cry is because you felt that before. You've been through it. And so that's what the tarot people are. They're just telling stories. And if you watch it long enough, your person, they left and they went to another person, and they realized they made a mistake, and they're afraid you won't take them back and won't forgive them, because this other person, it might not be a romantic person, it might be a family member that they can't get away from, and that person wants to get back, but they are scared. You can make up any story, and it's going to resonate with somebody. And if it's vague enough, it'll resonate with 1,000 people or 10,000 people. Confirmation bias. So when you go to a movie and you watch a movie and you start to cry, it's because you're a human. So that person who's talking the story or telling the story, it resonates with them, and they think that you're predicting the future or reading their life. And the reason they're able to do it because they read the comments and they get good at it. They read the comments that people make. Yeah, that just happened to me. You got that right. These people are evil. That person's crazy. That person is, I hope they come back. I'm still in love with them. I hope they come back. Please. So they read the comments and they learn how to tweak their storylines and their next story. There's one lady, it's a black lady, she's really funny. She says this a lot. She says, well, your person, they know they messed up because they went to the, what was it? How did she say it? The clearance rack. She said, your persons wish they could come back because when they went over to the clearance rack, they found out it was worse than they realized. They thought it was going to be this great thing, but the clearance rack that they got involved with was worse than anybody they've ever talked to or been with or whatever. And so I'd spent about 2 months decoding the tarot, and I was just like, okay, some of these people are demon possessed, and some of these people do quantum connect with you if you watch their stuff. But also there's a third element here. Some of them are just telling stories that are confirmation bias, but there's a third element here. And the third element is, if the AI knows that you've quantum connected with a person or you've been around a person and their cell phone, then the AI is going to send you stuff related to that person. If you're rubbing shoulders with that person, stuff's going to come up on your phone. Let's say you're talking to somebody. Let's say you go talk about, I'm going to buy me a Ford Escape, a Ford Escort or something like that. I'm going to buy me a Ford Jeep or something, Ford truck. And they say, yeah, I bought me a Chevrolet. Those things are going to show up in your feed because the AI, the Google AI, is listening to your conversation. And if they know that you and this other person are having conversations about Chevrolets or Fords, you're going to have Fords and Chevrolets show up in your feed. If they're talking about, whatever they're doing, wherever they are, whatever they're doing, it's going to show up in your feed because the AI is designed to give you what you want. And if the person that you're friends with is talking about something, so there's 3 possibilities here. Yeah, it could be a demon, and it probably is on some of them. Number 2 is confirmation bias. Number 3, it's an AI. And number 4, it's just a movie. It's just a story, somebody telling a story. And you're listening to that story and you're like, having a resonance, resonating with that, a resonance with that. The word the word resonate goes back to Son 8. R-E means again, Son is S-O-N, Jesus. 8 is A-T-E, right? So he says, drink of my blood, eat of my flesh. So when you're in tune with God in the 5D, you're resonating with everything all the time. And so some of these people, they are demon possessed. I treated it like just a storyline, like watching a movie, and they come up with some funny stuff. That one lady, she is funny. Yeah, they left you and they went to the clearance aisle and they realized they messed up and they're hoping to get back with you because the clearance aisle was nothing good. It's hilarious. Treat it. You ought to just listen. And they're in their karmic cycle, and they're gonna reap what they sow. And some of these people actually are preaching Jesus, and they think they're doing tarot and preaching Jesus at the same time. We are in a matrix. We are in a bizarro world, upside down, crazy land right now. There's actually people preaching Jesus doing tarot. It's hilarious. It's insanity. But Jesus has to be preached, whether they preach Christ consciousness or the real Jesus. Jesus is going to be preached. No matter where you go, Jesus is going to be preached. And they're not going to have any excuse. When they get at the great white throne judgment, they're going to have to answer to God. Because Jesus is being preached everywhere. Even in the tarot community. Even the corporations are almost preaching Jesus. Now the corporations are trying to turn the businesses into a cult family. Well, you got to be a family because we don't want you to quit. They're actually turning the corporations into cults, love bombing you to keep you so that you don't go do rideshare and make more money doing rideshare and staying on that job. But my point is, I like to research a lot of different things and see if I can decode what's going on. And by the grace of God, He usually shows me. And it's kind of funny how the confirmation bias, even though you know it's there, even though you know the confirmation bias is there and you're listening to it, you get pulled in. Just like the music, the Babylonian music, the Babylonian football and basketball. You know that Rome, to distract the common man, they gave them arenas and sports to distract them instead of paying attention to what's really going on in the political realm. It's just all distractions. You know that, but you still get pulled into it. You know Jezebel is a demon, but you still get pulled into her shape and her seduction if you're not careful, you know. She can talk a good talk. But you know it's just fake. You know that she's just a human like you, and her feet stink if she don't take a shower, and her underarms stink and she needs to brush her teeth. You know she's just a human. And you know you're going to get tired of being around her, especially if she's a liar and a gaslighter and trying to play Queen Bee or whatever she's trying to play. You know it's going to get on your nerves because you're going to get tired of Queen Bee not doing nothing, and she's going to have to learn how to clean that house. She's going to have to learn how to cook that meal and budget the house and save some money. But Queen Bee wants to always go out and be pampered, and that ain't going to last forever. She's going to have to learn to go to the grocery store and clip some coupons, you know. But she don't want to do that. That's why she ain't going to get married. She's going to have 4 or 5 paramours around, making her feel like she's some kind of queen of heaven. Lie. Bizarro land. We're in bizarro land. We're in such bizarro land, insanity, that I don't even know how the USA is still functioning. It should have collapsed by now, and it probably has. We're just living on fumes. I guess the USA is probably collapsed, and we're just on fumes right now. I got somebody's tag in front of me here at the restaurant. It says YOLO life. What does that mean? I have to Google that. There's all these sayings. You don't even know what it means, but when you Google it, you've heard it before, you know. When you do the research, my point is, you do this research, you come back to the same stories over and over. And the stories are Jesus alone saves, and it all points to Jesus. And the witches and the warlocks and the tarot, they ain't got nothing. Everything's in Jesus.